to the Italian Football Podcast.
It's a beautiful, beautiful story. But for me, the player of the tournament, or the best midfielder in the tournament, I'm not sure if I'd call him the player of the tournament. I would still probably go with Mbappe for that. But the best midfielder in the tournament so far, in my opinion, has been Sofyan Amrabat, the Fiorentina midfielder. So we've got a Serie A angle there. He has now been heavily linked to all the big Premier League clubs, to PSG, to Liverpool, to Tottenham. Can you just for those that don't know that much about him, can you just tell us tell the listener a little bit about him?
Well, Sofyan Amrabat is as everyone would know, he's the younger brother of Noureddin Amrabat. He was born in the Netherlands, in Huizen, I think it's called. I'm sorry for the pronunciation. He came up at Utrecht, and if I'm not mistaken, Erik ten Hag was his coach there as well. He moved to Feyenoord, where he had kind of a breakthrough season in 2017-2018. I think he scored the consolation goal against Napoli in a 3-1 loss, and then he got his move to Club Brugge, and where he signed a 4-year contract, and he was there for just the season before Hellas Verona discovered him for the measly, on a loan with an offer with an option to buy, set at a measly €3.5 million, and he quickly, under Ivan Juric, became the most important player. I remember Ivan Juric saying in a pre-match press conference, where they said if he's going to rest Amrabat, he said no, Amrabat will play for as long as he's alive. Unless he dies, Amrabat always starts. And that's the kind of, that's how quickly he became so central and important to that Hellas Verona side, who were just outstanding in the Serie A. And then, of course, he moved to Fiorentina. But if we look at some of the stats, I know you've got more detailed stats for him. But in this World Cup, I mean, I've brought up pretty much all the big names and of all teams, from Gavi to Pedri to Kovacic, Modric, all these guys. He's in the top 5 for the defensive stats in pretty much every single stat, from defensive duels per 90 minutes to successive defensive actions per 90 minutes to defensive duels percentages won, etc., etc. And he's just become an absolute pivotal player for this Morocco and how they defend. He's always in the right place, he at the right time, and always does the right thing. It's so impressive to see him really have this incredible breakthrough at the World Cup, and finally people see what, people who listen to this show will know what I've been raving about for years. I absolutely love this player, and I think he is a kind of so up until this point in his career, he's been kind of a poor man's Marcelo Brozovic. There's, he doesn't cover the same amount of space that Marcelo Brozovic does. But then again, I think that's physically, biologically impossible for any human being to run as much as Marcelo Brozovic does in a football game. I think he set another world record the other day for distance covered in one football game. But other than that, he is such an important player, and what he does, I think, which I think is one of the most overlooked aspects of his game, is the all-important long ball from deep. When Morocco or Fiorentina or Hellas win the ball defensively, that all-important first ball, whether it's a long ball, high ball, that gets a teammate who then wins it up and can hold up or play off another player, and the team gets breathing space and can move up and at counter attack. He really does that really well. Brozovic is a master at it, but Amrabat is just behind him there, and I think that's that has gotten teams like Spurs, who I knew were interested in him already last January.
They tried to sign him in January.
I don't think they were really close to signing him.
They were in advanced talks. They were in advanced talks with him. It fell through. The reason it fell through was because Fiorentina decided to sell Eric Pulgar